Hola, beautiful people. Today, I think one of the most requested videos, I got so many emails about questioning like what I eat in a day, what I do, what kind of workouts, and here we go. I prepared myself, this is probably going to be a long video, so I prepared myself like a whole liter of OJ, fresh squeezed of course, so I can take this and I have a lot of strength talking to you about this. So first thing, when I wake up, I do simple affirmations, it's inside my head, like I do it automatically before I even like open up my eyes. I would go like, I'm healthy, I feel great, I'm inspired, I'm a creative force, stuff like that, it's always positive. And this is, I recommend also to my clients, be always positive, okay? Talk to yourself, or rewire your brain so it basically believes what you're saying to yourself already. So positive things, think positive. So another thing is, breathing exercises. I don't do a lot, but I do 10 times like just to get like that flow, to get the air moving throughout my body and oxygen, and also to just kind of like wake me up. So the next part would be, probably you don't have, not everybody has dogs, but my first thing to do is go for a dog walk in nature. I know I'm blessed. I have like a natural reserve here 10 minutes from us. So I basically go with them about like 3-5 kilometers. What is that, like 4 miles? Just go around, inhale, just really relax. I repeat myself because of the war and World Trade Center, after terrorism, after terrorist attack, basically I have this very sensitivity. I don't feel safe in general, so I talk to myself, I'm safe, I'm okay, I'm blessed, and all this stuff. Like there's a lot of like going on in my head, and sometimes when I cut myself inside my head talking to myself some negative stuff, I always try to rewire and change it to positive. So if I'm saying to myself like, oh my god, like I don't have time to do this, I said to myself, okay, step by step, I'll get the time to do this, I'll try and do this, and if not going to do it today, I'm going to do it tomorrow, like kind of calm myself down. So after a dog walk, I go to swim, and swimming is something that I'm really grateful to. Like just water in general is like, despite the fact that I'm Taurus and I'm very earthy, I like gardening, I like taking care of things, I'm very motherly type, I like to take care of everybody and all this stuff. But water is something that I really, really feel connected with. I was born as a baby with I was a breech baby, and also I had like a lot of broken bones, and my feet were basically glued on my, if this is a leg, my feet were like up there, and my mom massaged me and they put me in a like kind of cast and steel to kind of stretch out and rearrange my bones, as a newborn, and it was horrible. But at the same time, when they would take this off, first 2 years I couldn't even walk, and they said I'm not going to be able to walk at all. That's why I love walking so much now, especially like outdoor walking. It's my favorite thing to do, especially with pups in nature, of course. But yeah, after 2 years, like in these 2 years, they would take off this cast occasionally on the weekend, and my mom would take me and just drop me into the water, and I would just swim and dive as a baby, and then pull me out and then put me back in the water. And I believe that really, really changed the way how my whole hips and all this area kind of healed back together. And I don't know, like I maybe look a little bit sloppy when I walk, but most people will not notice there's something wrong with me like when I walk. And I can be really fast and I can walk really far. Like I can walk like 50 miles, I swear, like just no problem. I'll go slow, but I'll get there, So this is something that why I appreciate water so much, and that's why I like to swim occasionally. And now, because I have opportunity, we have a pool outside our home, and it's really nice, and I go every day now swim, and I feel fantastic, like really, really good. My body also, like, I got like little muscles, you know, like I was never muscular in my life because I don't like gyms. I don't like pushing my body that way. I don't like competitive sports, but at the same time, like, I like to feel in shape and, you know, strong, that I can carry some stuff and so on. And I can definitely do that now. So after the swim, this is very short, like this would be like 30-minute swim, you know, just to refresh myself, just to, you know, like get a little muscles going and so on. After a dog walk, I'm pretty much sweaty, or like, you know, the sun is blasting on my head. So then swim is kind of refreshing, and it's really nice. So after that, I drink fresh squeezed orange juice, 1 liter, something like that. And let me take some sips right now. Oh my God, this is so good. I can't believe it. So I have fresh squeezed orange juice. And then maybe I do like clean up a little bit, vacuum around the house and so on. And then I eat like maybe half a watermelon if I'm hungry. Sometimes I'm not hungry at all because OJ just keeps holding me around. Then I go to work, you know, the computer, the emails, all this stuff, the protocols, whatever I need to do. As a detox specialist, I check all your emails. I check all the help emails. Like, for instance, like every day I have some kind of healing crisis, pretty much alarm. And, you know, I have to calm down people and explain to them what healing crisis is about, and how can they stop it or mild it or whatever they want to do, you know, because when the healing crisis strikes, you have 3 choices. You can either go deep and heal the problem that you're trying to heal, or you can slow it down with the sweet fruits, or you can completely stop it with the cooked foods. Normally that would be, in my case, like, you know, I always advise low protein, low fat, vegan, steamed vegetables or potatoes, something like that. Yeah. That will actually, it's going to take some time to calm it down, but eventually it will stop hurting as much. So after all the work, you know, in between, I actually stop around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, you know, like my OJ basically, I don't start working before like 11, 12. I'm like a late person, so I wake up a little bit later and I go to sleep later, even if that's not my, you know, it's not best. But I've been always like a night person, like I get very creative, and when it's calm and, you know, dark outside, like I really like it, then I can really focus on my work and my creative stuff. So after all this work, in between, maybe I have like 4 peaches, I slice them up, or some cherries, or another half of the watermelon. I mean, I eat a lot. I mean, I'm like almost 6 feet tall, and now I have 60 kilograms, so 182 centimeters about, and I'm about, 60 kilos now, that I'm not losing any more weight. I mean, I'm eating really good, I think. And so after this 4 peaches, I go back to work, finish up something, you know, maybe a protocol, maybe do something like that, maybe like, you know, clean up a little bit, you know, and then back to work. And afterwards, I have like a big papaya and a few dates and sometimes cherries. It's kind of like a dinner version. And then I go again for a shorter walk with my husband, who comes home from work. This is about like normally 9 p.m. So then we go a little bit again in nature, or around the neighborhood, or we go around the block, you know. And afterwards, we have either huge salad, or like another watermelon or cherries or whatever we have at home, or melons, or whatever we have at home, you know, we have that, or even like smoothie. And when I make smoothie, I'm talking big smoothie, you know, it's papaya, it is mango, it is bananas, it's a whole cup of berries, coconut water. I mean, these smoothies are huge, you know. This is like probably like this, a smoothie, almost a liter of smoothie. And that's why I don't lose weight anymore, you know. Before I would, eat much less when I was the detox, but now I feel like, okay, you know what, why not indulge? As long as like, to me, it's like, as long as like fruits and vegetables, it's fine, like, to me, it's like, I feel good, I have a lot of energy, and that's what's important to me, that I feel happy and, ready to go. Yeah, around 10 o'clock, I have normally chats with clients where I actually audio chats. A lot of you probably who are watching this, like basically that's like 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock. This is where I really like to talk, because I finished up my work and then I can really focus on chatting with people and like, preparing. This is basically like intro chats or post chats after the protocol or before we start a protocol. So I learn about you, or we go through the protocol and we adjust it to a lifestyle, right? So we see how what I wrote, we can adjust to fit in your life. So you can follow that diet, you can follow that lifestyle. When we're traveling, a lot of times we like to support vegan restaurants. Like, we're ethical vegans for a very long time. Like for me, 27 years now, for my husband, 8 years. So for us, it's really important to support this whole vegan movement and restaurants and all this stuff. So when we're traveling, we're definitely testing all the possible like vegan restaurants, even vegan hotels, whatever there is out there, we want to support it, even if it's corporate, like Beyond Meat stuff. I mean, I tried it only once and it was crazy how good that tasted, and like I almost was like, oh my god, are you sure this is not meat? Are you sure? I've never had meat in my life. So basically when I tasted the Beyond Burger, I was like, oh my god, how the heck do they do this? This is like genius. Why people eat meat at all? Why do they eat animals at all if we have such great substitutes for it that you don't even, they taste amazing. But back to the focus. So when we're traveling, we are eating vegan in vegan restaurants. We try to kind of go to the raw vegan if it's possible, or like low fat and low protein, right? Stay away from proteins and fats, and a lot of carbs. And in between, we definitely eat a lot of fruit. I mean, throughout the day we eat the fruit, and then dinner would be something where we go sin, and have like a nice vegan dish. So for when we're flying to US from Europe, then a lot of times we are fasting. We just don't eat and drink anything while we're flying, what is like 18 hours on the plane and then on the airports and so on. And another thing, like we have like maybe monofruit. Like I know for Christmas we just had tons of mandarins and oranges, and we're just eating all the time. And it's so funny because like people on a plane, they would get like their meals, plain meals. And sometimes we do order like a fruit plate if they have it. Some like Lufthansa and Austrian Airlines, they have amazing fruit platter. I've never flown with the Spanish or Italian, or no, but I think they probably have also really good stuff if it's possible to get it. Swiss Air did not have fruit platter. They had a problem with that, which was to us really, really hard. And we normally fly in business class because of my anxiety. And also just for comfort, because it's just when, I flew so much like in economy when I was young and, traveling around the world. And now I'm just like, I have this fear of flying because of the accidents above Zurich. And we like to be comfortable and feel safe, and, that we can actually rest and sleep. So when we come to US, we just keep going, so we don't feel like any jet lag or so on. To tell you, when is the social gathering? And also my husband will work, right? He goes to work. He's at work pretty much from 8 to 8 or 9 o'clock in the evening. So 12 hours, 13 hours. For him is really important as a fruitarian to prepare. This is the key, like prepare. If you can prepare when you go to work, like slice up the, fruit in the glass jar, or you make a smoothie and take it with you, or you bring the fruit over there, or you can actually go outside at lunchtime, buy a fruit, and then bring it back and eat it. I mean, whatever, like he really is good at preparing and organizing himself. He always has like in his office, like in the drawer, like a stash of like dates and dried figs and apricots and everything, you know, like so this is very important, you know, to avoid the challenge that you will eat something bad, right? Always prepare yourself, like always be ready to like carry in your backpack, carry in your bag, even female bag if you have it, like always carry like some kind of dry fruits, that if the hunger strikes or if you're in a social gathering where there's no fruits or nothing else to eat for you, you have something on your own. You know, we're working with it. Like it took time, you know, it takes time, but once you get used to this lifestyle, it's so easy because there's no dirty dishes, there's no time consumed on cooking or preparing stuff. You know, all you do is basically slice and clean juicers, you know. And most of the time, like the sister juices that I'm using, Smeg, it's just so easy to clean and it's incredible, you know, just drink the juice, you know, clean up. It's amazing. One thing that I have to say, after I eat cooked foods, I fall into coma. Like normally I just fall asleep. So that's a problem. And another problem, like after eating cooked foods, maybe I feel full 10 to 20 minutes. Seriously. And then I start to feel like I'm hungry again. My stomach is like basically full and I'm like, oh my God, I barely can move. But at the same time, you know, like I feel empty, like my brain is sending signals, give me sugar, give me that simple sugar that it's used to, you know, because with fruits you get all the tons of vitamins, tons of minerals, enzymes, and a lot of simple sugars that your body can really use really fast. But with cooked foods and vegetables and, you know, other potatoes and so on, like whatever cooked stuff we eat, it's a problem because you are, I feel hungry, you know, like I feel this lack of nutrition and my brain just starts sending me signals really fast. So normally after I have cooked foods, I will wait probably 1 hour, but then I will definitely hit like orange juice or watermelon juice or fresh watermelon juice, something, you know, to hydrate me and to give me that sugar that my body is craving, and then I'm fine. So that's why, you know, not fan of cooked foods, of course, because like it's really lacking nutrition that you destroy with cooking, but it's also this feeling of like tiredness and also lack of sugar and lack of nutrition afterwards. I mean, I'm talking about natural, simple sugars, you know, I'm not talking about like, you know, eating cookies or something like that. We do sometimes indulge, like I love raw vegan cakes, like cheesecakes, raw vegan cheesecakes, and I like raw vegan cupcakes and all this stuff. Like I really like sweet stuff, but I avoid it, especially because it's nut based. You know, I rather go for something more light. But of course, you know, we're just humans, so you know, we love sweets and we love bad food. You know, like French fries. Sometimes I pass by the restaurant and smell the French fries like, oh my God, you know, I want to eat it. But, you know, it's every day, like you convince yourself, like you ask yourself, like this is something that like it pops into my head immediately. Like, is it worth it? Is it worth like having this half an hour enjoyment and then have a whole day of like feeling sluggish and heavy and so on? You know, and probably popping up zits or like, you know, just having a bad hair day, you know, is it worth it? So I always try and ask myself, of course, like my reason and my smart, you know, like he's like a little devil, you know, and he's a little angel. And sometimes I don't listen to angel, you know, I just go for like, you know, like a bad foods. Is with changing seasons, I change a lot the food that I eat, right? In the summer, it's definitely watermelons, grapes, peaches, apricots, plums, all this stuff, cherries, you know. And then in the fall, grapes start to dominate our diet. And we try and buy everything organic as much as we can. Try to get it locally from the local farmers directly, not to support these corporations and shops. Of course, it's very hard, like especially now that we moved to Barcelona, we're like, we're trying to find who, where, what. But it's not that difficult, it's even online. You can find a lot of people who are doing this, and they're great. In winter, in between, because a lot of people ask me, when you're fruitarian, you're cold a lot. What I do in between, I pretty much drink tea all the time in between. I would have, it's either Hilo tea from Dr. Morse, or I do the herbal teas, and I like chamomile before bedtime, for instance, to calm me down. I like all herbal teas, as long as it's organic and natural and not, artificially taste added, like I'm fine. I also like Ayurveda, chai tea and stuff like that, like a little mixes with cinnamon and all that. Like I like that with spicy, right? Like for instance, I'm not 100% fruit. Maybe like 90, and then some days I'm 100, and then I'm again 90%, right? In between, I do some vegetables and salads. I mean, we mostly do fruit veggies. What are those? Zucchinis, peppers, avocados. They're mostly avocados. We mostly put like a dressing on top of stuff. Tomatoes. I like tomatoes, but just make sure they're organic and really ripe. Very important, right? Then they're tomato fantastic. Another thing, what do we put in? Yeah, I like to do zucchini noodles. This is my go-to salad. My husband likes cucumbers. I'm not a fan of cucumbers. I then put a little bit of peppers and celery. I like to make like in my salad like little chunks of celery, so it's like it gives it a little crunch, and then we put avocado sauce on top of it. We do add garlic. I mean, garlic is not supposed to be healthy. You do feel like your skin when you're sweating, it's a little bit more smelly, your mouth just smells, it's not really, even animals go away from garlic. But I'm so like, I come from like Mediterranean, alpine, country where garlic is like a crucial thing that we consume. So we put garlic inside and a lot of Mediterranean spices that I love. And that's what we eat, in our dressing on top of this stuff. Sometimes we put actually peppers in the dressing and blend it. I didn't say, like the dressing is basically blended, right? You throw in like 2 avocados, you throw in like spices, then peppers if you want to have a little bit different taste, you blend this, and that's what we put on our salad. If you're on detox, it's the best to be on 100% fruit. If you want to heal, if you want to really recover from something bad, mono fruit is the best, like people are just really getting shocked if I tell them like, oh, I eat like 2 weeks only apples, when the apples are in season, right? Or I drink orange juice like for 3-4 days, or grapefruit juice, when it's in season. So I try and really do like all these things. Like I don't like too much extremes. You will not probably get me to do 2 months of juice fast. Not my thing. Like I'm not about extremes. I'm more about like what it feels good and what it feels comfortable for me. And I don't do any extremes, like dry fast. The most that I did dry fast was probably 36 hours. But at the same time, I'm not really ill. When you're really, really ill, of course, then you have to push a little bit, and you will definitely, benefit from longer dry fasts, especially if you're hydrated, right? Fasting is going to be another video. If you fall off the wagon, what does that mean? Oh, you go to a party and you eat some crap, all right? What is important? That the next meal or the next thing that you're going to have, it's going to be super clean. Like if you have to do next day the juice fast, or clean yourself up. But it's also very important that you don't dwell on things and you don't judge yourself and don't go crazy. Oh my God, I messed it up. Okay, if I messed it up, I'm just going to keep on messing up. What's the point? No, don't go into this dark zone. What you should do is basically say, okay, I made a mistake, but now I'm gonna fix it, right? So you go back to the fruits, back to the juice fast, or whatever you want to do to clean this up, and nothing is lost. You mess up a little bit, now you go back to the detox. But of course, we all have that, these weaknesses. We're all like, it's very tough with like, you know, we grew up with like beautiful cooked meals. For me, like my mom made a lot of vegetable stews, a lot of like potato-based meals with veggies. I mean, I'm lucky because first of all, my mom was vegetarian all of her life like me. And then on top of it, she became vegan very early. And after I came back to Europe and I was spending more time with them again, you know, from New York City back to Germany, and then I went to Slovenia, you know, because of the dog. Another story again. But, you know, I could really eat her food because she cooks everything vegan. But I know, like, for a lot of people, you know, that's not really an option, right, with the family. But we like, you know, my mom makes like buckwheat, fresh corn, flour, pancakes, vegan pancakes with like all kinds of like raw chocolate, and I can't even tell you, like it's really amazing. And like, you know, fresh jams, freshly made from fruit. And so it's tough, especially around my parents. I gained weight a lot. But I love spending time with my parents, you know, like I left my home when I was 16 years old to go to Oxford, and then later I moved to Ljubljana, and then to Amsterdam, and then to even a little bit to Melbourne, and then, you know, New York for 14 years and 9 years Germany. But while I was in Germany, I started spending way more time in Slovenia, because in Germany they don't like pit bulls and staffies, and I was literally abused so much. So I basically spent more time with my parents and lived with them for 6 months at a time. And this is something, you know, in US, like living with your parents when you're like 30, 40, that's like horrible. But like in Europe, people are really like to live with their parents, and this is also something that Italians do, that I know for sure. I mean, you know, you have a house that is divided with upper level and lower level, and then the older people on below, and then the younger people above, and you have your own apartments almost. But, you know, when you need help, you know, a lot of people need help with kids, you know, then grandma and grandpa are there. And living with your parents is not that bad, and people save a lot of money so they can go for vacation, they have more fun that way. So this is something like, I think it's very big difference between Europe and US, you know, where living with your parents is something bad, but in Europe it's not so necessarily bad. But now in Barcelona, and my parents are really far away, pretty much like 16-hour drive. So I'm all alone here, but they're gonna fly in and visit us, of course, and stay with us a little bit, which I'm very excited about. And see where our retreat, OrangeHealia, is going to go on. So regarding that, I want to tell you, rooms are ready. I have to put a page together on my website, OrangeHealia.com, and show the rooms and what are we doing and the environment. And I'm just so impressed, you know, I'm so happy and blessed and grateful for being here and to have this wonderful fruits and wonderful, we have like a natural reserve 10 minutes from us, and then central Barcelona 10 minutes from us. And I believe rooms we decorate them really nice with all the natural materials and wood, sustainable wood. And I really try to do like linen and natural organic cotton, you know, bedding and all this stuff. So I hope you're going to enjoy it, whoever is going to come. So yeah, but this is pretty much it, you know, what I do and what I eat in a day. Very simple, a lot, like quantities. I don't know, when I was a vegetarian, you know, and I went vegan, I started eating way more, right? But it's not about how much, it's like what you eat. And then when you come fruitarian diet, it's even way more, right? So, you know, like it's like kind of piles and piles of food, but it depends on like what kind of food it is, right? It's mostly fruits and vegetables and raw. And, you know, it's way more sustainable as well, because, you know, to grow animals and to produce dairy, it takes so much more energy and resources and water, and of course also pollution, and not to talk about like ethical part of it, like suffering animals. So when you go on fruits, it's even less suffering because you're not hurting plants, even, you know, you don't kill even plants, fruit just falls down. So it's completely non-violent, high energy, high vibrational foods. And for me, going fruitarian, I went fruitarian completely just for health. And I need to admit, it's been one of the best moves in my life. The same as going vegan for the animals was really, really the smartest thing I did in my life, you know, when I was 17. And now going fruitarian, really incredible, like what it did to my body, recovered my acne, recovered my, you know, I don't remember if I told you, like I lost, in one of my videos I'm mentioning before, like I lost all my hair. Now it's growing so fast back, and it's really, I mean, this is after, you know, being in a pool, but like it's growing so fast, and it's like so thick, you know, and it's basically I have hair at 45 that I had when I was, you know, 18, teenager. It's such a high quality. So I'm very, very grateful for this whole fruit journey and fruitarian lifestyle. And yeah, very, very pleased also what it did, not only with my skin, but my thyroid, my spider veins, my candida. I had so much candida. But anyways, watch the video that I made about like healing myself. I'm gonna publish link below again, just in case you missed that one. And the next video is going to be something very special. And as you notice, I do interviews only with women. So far I had only women interviews, but this time I'm going to interview my husband and how he helped himself heal and what he eats and does in a day. He's very athletic, not like me. I mean, I'm athletic too, but like, you know, I have some muscles and stuff, but he's very, very like muscular, and people would never ever think he's like long-term vegan. What about like fruitarian? And we're gonna see how he works out, what he does, you know, I think it's gonna be a really fun one. It's going to be my first male interview. I hope he's not going to be too shy, but you know, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'll talk to you soon. I'm hoping, you know, like I want to give you like quality and not just blab away, but actually prepare a little bit for my videos. So that's why I do like post videos about like every month once. I said like, oh, I got to do more and more and more. But at the same time, then I can do the protocols. I can answer all your questions, you know, like then a little bit of work suffers if I do a lot of videos. And I just don't want to do like just talking, you know. I want to put like some videos, like fun videos that you can actually see what I'm talking about a little bit. All right. Have a beautiful day and enjoy, like be successful. Do your best to make this world a better place. And I love you all. Mwah. Ciao.